a copy of today's recording. So you can speed me up, slow me down, or have me repeat whatever you need to. It'll be 24 hours from now that you'll receive this. So it takes 24 hours for the system to render, but tomorrow you will get a copy of today's slides and the recording, but only if you've commented in the question box. That's the only people who are going to get it. So just know that that's all it goes to. I receive lots of other emails after the event telling me, oh, I missed this and this happened. We do not share those. Those are just for the people that are here. And do understand that at the very end, when it's lengthier, more personal, more detailed Q&A, even though I take Q&A all during the whole presentation, know that I will turn it off because the Q&A is only for the people who've taken the time to be here, okay? That's the benefit of being here live, to be able to ask your live questions. So remember to comment in the question box if you want a copy of today's slides and you want a copy of the recording. So what's in a domain name? Well, think of the domain as your online address. When you think about it, for example, your URL, your website address, that is your street address. That's where people can find you online. Being, the biggest library in the world, online, they can find you there. So if you think of content is your house, that's everything that you have within the house, let's say, and the house structure in your land, that's the context. Your domain is your actual address. And having a good address that's easy to find and easy for people to remember builds trust and also makes it easy for them to find you. Because if they don't know you exist, they cannot do business with you. Absolutely, Claudia, thank you for being here. So when you look at a website, a complete address, including the domain name, looks something like this. The store name may be Stacia's Bakery, but the complete domain name is right here with the HTTP or the HTTPS, meaning that it's a secure site, // and then the rest of the actual URL, the actual web address. And then, of course, when we look at a store, this is the content, this is the information that people have. So when you're looking at this, you've got all of the content, the furniture, the domain name is the house, and the actual location, that's your website address. And people need to be able to find your address. The reason we want a custom domain is it helps you in search. You've probably heard the term search engine optimization, and maybe you were like me the very first time you heard about SEO, search engine optimization, and you thought, oh my gosh, way too technical, way too much. But do understand, this is how the search engine finds you. If the search engine cannot find you, it can't deliver you in the results that it gives to people. And understand that on average, most people don't look past the first page of a Google search. So every Google search page gives you 10 organic search results. 10. That's it. If you don't show up there, unless you owe somebody money, they're not going to the second and third page. If you're not visible there, people do not think you're in business. They do not think you're a professional, and they are not looking to do business with you. So it's very important to be able to dominate search. And that's why I love doing these classes, because as a small business, I understand how cash flow is king. And if people don't see you, that's a long time you have to go with no cash flow, or you have to expend a lot of money to try to get visibility your way. So once you've done this, once you've actually come up and search, you're also going to look at brand building. One of the reasons you want a good domain name is brand building. I think I've discussed that enough already, but that is another reason that you want to have that, plus the professionalism. There's just a level of professionalism that happens when you have a domain name, and you get access to more tools when you truly are a domain name owner. So choosing that right domain name. The big thing here is don't get into the perfection rut. That analysis to the state of paralysis means that other people are getting opportunity at the business or the visibility or what people are searching for than you are. So know that it needs to be good, but not perfect. Sometimes just an average name that's easy to spell. So you're not looking for inside jokes or inside statements, or maybe something that's spelled some wonky way that you're the only one who knows. I was working with someone the other day, and he actually bought both of the domain names. And I thought it was funny because he's starting a YouTube channel. He's a YouTube creator, and his YouTube channel is somebody should make that, or someone should make that. So we actually looked that up. The #1 search phrase is someone should make that. But he, in his area, he lives in California, actually is used to saying somebody should make that. But that is the lowest that is actually searched, the lowest search phrase. He bought both just so that he wouldn't miss them and he'd be able to show up high. This actually also gives you good search engine optimization, and that gives you great visibility. So you want it to be short and simple. Think of that. What makes it easy for it to roll off of somebody's tongue? For example, when you go to my site, I mean, you can go to klibrand.com, you can go to klibrand.com/events, but you'll see me here when I'm even talking about my events. I say go to mariacoaches.com. And as simple as you may think that is, a lot of people have issues with trying to spell all that out. So I even use mariaspeaks.com. So think of that plus my whole name, Maria Duron. But understand, people will put Duran, they'll put D-A-R-A-N. There's so many conjugations that happen. And then consider alternatives. Start taking a look at that, because there might be alternatives, especially if a larger brand actually already owns that name. So when you think about it, Stacia, who is a real person actually that I work with, so Stacia's Bakery is fictitious, but Stacia herself is a real person. So Stacia happens to own the URL happyeggs.com, and there is a company that actually has Happy Egg. So not the plural S, but Happy Egg. And but they wanted to buy her Happy Eggs because they had Happy Egg, but she's not selling that. And so they went ahead and got happyeggs.co. So they looked for another conjugation, and you might want to look at that. If the .com is already taken up, even though more people go to .com first, you can still have .net, there's .agency, .marketing, .biz, .org. There are so many ways now, but you're wanting to stay within 2 or 3 words and really be something that's not complicated at all. Let's see, is there somewhere we can research what people really say about our industry? Yes, 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 there really is. What a great question. Let me show you what that place looks like, okay? This is why I love you guys asking questions, because this is custom for you. I don't show this to everybody, but I'm gonna show it to you. I cannot see when it's behind my camera. Sorry, let me go here real quick. I'm gonna go to Google Trends. So I'm going to g.co/trends. Just so you know what that looks like. Excuse me, sorry about that. Let me show you this real quick so I can type it in here and just make it a lot easier for everybody to see. You're going to go to g.co/trends. Let me make that nice and big. All right, we're just going to go into a live demo here, but see, you're going to go to this website. This is g.co/trends. So that's the website I'm going to here. When I go to the website, where did I hide the website for myself? Hold on. Get it back here. There we go. This is where you're going to. All right. When you go to the site, let me make it bigger. This is 100% free. So give me something that, give me what your industry is. Just let me know your industry in the question box. I'd love to know. Oh yeah, regionalized English is. So somebody made a comment here about how regionalized English is. It so much is. So understand, I have lived all over the world because I'm an Air Force brat. So, you know, my father was in the military 27 years. So I grew up on military bases all over the world. But I spent a lot of time, of course, in the North, in Chicago. That's where I was born. Then also in the West Coast, a little bit in the East, overseas all over the place. And now, of course, I'm in Texas. So I do see some remarkable differences between my husband, who's born and raised Texan. So as I look and say, you know, he loves to say soda. I say pop. He says, you know, what, and it's funny, we'll say, well, he's used to saying, you know, the carbonated water. So he'll ask for carbonated water. Because I was in Europe so long, I asked for water, no gas, you know, because that's what we asked for in Europe. So it's just interesting, all the different regional differences. Plus, oh my goodness, just when you're trying to put a URL together and you have the names, let's say you have sale in there. I mean, just think about that in the US. Sale or sale, S-A-L-E or S-A-I-L. Which one is it? Or two, T-W-O, T-O-T-O-O. Which is it? Or the number 2. What is it? Okay, so look, pediatric dentistry. Yes, who can fix? Yes, absolutely. So for example, here, if let's say that, let's see, pediatric, if I can spell, pediatric dentist. All right. So when we look at pediatric dentist as a search term, what are some other things that are being searched around it? Well, what's being searched around, we can see what region is searching the most. So Alabama is searching the most about a pediatric dentist. We can also see other related topics around that: holistic dentistry, health maintenance, a crown, you know, replacing a crown seems to be a conversation that people are having, preferred provider organization, even anesthetics, anesthesiology. So as we look here, we see which elements does strong narrative writing. So interesting that that would come up with a dentist. that people are talking about Abilene pediatric dentist. So I happen to be housed in Midland, Texas. It's picking up near to me, which is Abilene. I'm not Rochester, but of course it's showing up high. See, all of these plus 100%, plus 90% mean that that's what people are searching for even more of right now. So it's on the rise. So if I'm buying Google ads even, I use these terms because they're not showing up to Google ads that they're popular yet. So they're not expensive. The bid's not high, but yet I can get in front of a lot of people. Plus you can use this in your content. You don't have to use it for ads. You can use it in your posts and your videos. It really can get you some visibility, fishing where the fish are. Pediatric dentist that takes Medicaid. So see, that's a topic around there compared to, you know, that somebody could be also looking for who could fix my kiddo's teeth. So you can see all of those phrases here and you can check them out. Let's say, I want to put here pediatric dentistry to see if that comes up a little bit different. Okay, a little bit higher pediatric dentistry, so red, a little bit different areas. And you can now see that people are asking about oral surgeons, Kids World Pediatric Dentistry. So they're really searching out some names here. Seems to be what's the query today, okay, or see within the past 12 months. I can get that granular to say, let's say within the last 7 days, if I want to see that. So I can see people are really looking for all of these different dentistry in the last 7 days. And if I want to get super specific, now it depends how much people are searching. I can say in the past 4 hours. Okay, it's something people are searching for in the past 4 hours. Tiny teeth. Yeah, a lot of names. So they're doing some searches of some names. And that may be particular to Monday too. We don't know. So you can search that at, again, g.co/trends. That's where I went. That's 100% free. That's a Google tool you can use. All right. So as we look at this, let's start looking at keywords like that. What are people using to look for things? We talk about that often when we're talking about Google search. During the whole pandemic and the starting of the lockdown, people were looking for tech support because all of a sudden they had to realize about video calls and understand how their video camera works, things that were not very important or urgent to them before the pandemic started. So one of the things they were looking for was tech support, but they did not look for tech support. That wasn't the number one search phrase. The number one search phrase during that time was, I hate my computer. I hate my computer. I'm so frustrated with this darn thing. So if your brand and you weren't doing posting and in your content, in your videos, in your descriptions didn't have the phrase, I hate my computer, and you just had tech support, you were totally missing who your best customer could be. So as we look at alternative domain endings, that might even help us from there. So take a look at this and you can see here, let me see, I buried my own presentation here. There we go. So you can see some of the most popular, which is the .com, but you want to go beyond that and think of the other extensions like a .academy, .zone. I even have, I think, one of mine is people-to-people.marketing. Okay, so you can do all of those things to make it easier if somebody already has the .com. Now, how you can register the domain name. So you may have found a great one, but you need to register it. You can use a lot of tools. I'm going to be talking about Google domains here because, hey, I'm speaking for Google, but understand you can use this with any of the domain services like GoDaddy, cheap domain registrations. I mean, there's just a whole bunch of them, but you can go to a register. What you're going to do then is you're going to look at some of the benefits that you can get from using a register. For example, you may have statiusbakery.com, but you also own statiusbakery.net, .org, .biz, .co, whatever is it that you own, you can forward all of those to still find the main site .com. So they can come from all different places and see the same site. Just like I told you a moment ago. For me, I have KLI Brand is our business, the agency that my sons run, but yet Maria Speaks, Maria Coaches, Maria Reviews, all of that go straight to KLI Brand, different pages of KLI Brand, but that's because of domain forwarding. Also, when you register your domain, you have security, and this is very important. People don't want their information just put out there for anybody to have, and they're looking for secure sites. In fact, if you don't have a site that has the S, so you need a site that has HTTPS, right? That is the beginning of a website URL address, and HTTP and HTTPS are very different. HTTP does not have security. S has the additional security to it. And do understand, it doesn't matter what you do. If you don't at least have a secure site, you will not show up in the first page of a Google search. There's just no way. Google penalizes you for not having a secure site because it wants to make sure that every searcher feels comfortable with the information that they're finding, that these are secure, good sites. It also helps you with privacy. If you don't want to show that you're the domain owner, some people don't want people to know that they own 200 plus domains, so they want to keep that private. It also integrates nicely with all the free Google tools plus the paid workspace tool, and plus it also has some clear pricing here for Google domains. You'll see that with other registers too, so just look for these and make sure you have all of that available. So for Google domain, if you look at the lower bottom left hand corner here, you'll see you can get started at domains.google.com, and you can find actually your URL here. You can put it here to see if it's already taken. I try to say that too fast and it just gets muddled. You also, what I love about Google Domains is you can go here. You don't have to buy a domain at all. You can just start this process here by going to this URL here, again in the bottom left-hand corner. But you can start seeing insights. So if somebody already has the .com, here are some other popular endings. And you can find out a little bit more about whether or not they're searched. So you get a little bit more insight into that. And I love Google tools working for us, and this is doing it 100% free. Of course, if you decide to buy a .com, .net, it'll show you what's available and what the price is per year. So that's for the entire year for you to be able to have that domain name. Once you do that, you can add it into your shopping cart, just really easy. You see the plus sign, you see the little graphic here of the cart. And once you do that, again, it's $12 for 1 year, plus you have privacy protection on. Understand, there are some companies, domain registers, which add this on for additional $1.95 or additional $8, that this is already all included here once you have all of that together. Plus, if you wanted to, you could add a custom Google workspace, but you don't have to. You can use your free personal Gmail or free Google account if that's what you choose to do. Once you review your purchase, you make sure it's the right URL, you spelled everything correctly, got all your contact information just perfect, then you will click buy. And that's what happens within Google Domains. Now, if you already have a domain, let's say you set something up already with GoDaddy or HostGator or someplace like that, you've already set it up, but you want to transfer it because you just want everything under one roof and you'd like to connect it to all of your Google tools because it just makes it nice and easy for you because we're already busy with all the hats that we wear. No worries. You can go in here to Google Domains, and if you go here to the left-hand side where all the navigation happens, you'll see transfer. You'll just follow along with that transfer process, and it'll walk you through. You'll fill in the blank, then you'll transfer it. So as you transfer it, now you can start seeing it connecting with Google tools. Now, if you have a domain name that you really, really want, but it's taken, you might want to make a small change. It could be in putting a space or an underscore between. It could be that you are making a small tweak, like for example, a .com, .org, .net. So just in the extension, or you could just start fresh because sometimes you just have to really, really think about what words people use. And that's when Google Trends can be very helpful to you because you can start seeing some of those differences. Plus, again, if you use Google Domains and you use the Insights area, that will also help you see what other opportunities and names are out there for you and how those weigh, how they're being actually searched. So what you need to do, because I'm a strong fan of knowledge is not powerful until it is applied, you can remember this by doing a screenshot here, or just know you'll get a copy of today's slides if you've commented in the question box, and then you can apply it and really start looking for a good domain name for you, okay? Any questions before we talk about how you can build a website with Google Sites, okay? Just use that question box for questions. Again, if you want a copy of today's slides and recording, that's where you do that as well. So let's talk about building a site with Google Sites, all right? So when you go to Google Sites, there's no hosting fee, all right? Nothing. It's collaborative. So I know a lot of businesses that even use this for their internal website to share documents like onboarding or about vacations or company announcements. They'll use this. It's nice, it's clean, it's online, it's secure. I love that. It's also very mobile responsive. So understand that most of us access online on this device, and when you have to pinch and zoom and swipe side to side to see something, it's not mobile responsive. And with mobile sites, with Google Sites, I mean, you don't have to worry about having heavy design skills. There's a lot of WYSIWYG. What you see is what you get. So whatever you type in, that's what you actually see online. You can choose themes and such. Yes to slides, absolutely. You'll get a copy of today's slides. So how you can build in Google Sites is you'll start this way. You actually are going to get to Google Sites from Google Domains this way. So all that navigation happens on the left-hand side. When you click on website here, it will bring up this window where you have a chance to put together a simple site. Now, let me show you where you can find that in your free Google account. All right, let me throw this up here real quick. So if you've got a Gmail account, this is what it looks like in the Gmail account. You're looking for the app keypad. You see that here, Google Apps. When you click on that, those are all the free Google apps you have access to. This is not Google Workspace. This is 100% a free Gmail account. So when you're in here, you can go to Google Sites. You just toggle on down here so we don't see that right away, right? We don't see Google Sites available to us. So what you'll do is you'll look for more from Google. It will bring up another window. We're going to toggle all the way down here to the very, very bottom and see all the Google products here. Every single one of them listed nice here, easy to find. You're looking for Google Sites. All right. And actually, I think it's just called Sites. Here we go. Yep, Sites. You'll click on there, and that's how you can get there. Now, once you start using Sites a lot, what happens is this is really intuitive. This screen, let me go back here. Oops, sorry about that. Keep clicking around. Let me look past my camera here. All right, when you go here, once you've done it quite a bit, you're going to actually start seeing it populate in here, and you can drop and drag this however you want. Like if you use Calendar more, any of these tools, you can just take it, drag it, and bring it up to the top. So you can customize it however you want. So you can bring slides up into here too. It'll start populating once you're using that. Now let's say that you're in a Google account. You don't want a Gmail account, you have an email account, so you don't want to worry about having Gmail. Not to worry, you have a free Google account. You'll create one by going to google.com/accounts. All right, so that's where you'll go here is you'll go to, make this bigger. You'll go to google.com/accounts. All right, you'll go to this URL. Once you do that, you'll enter your email address and create a password. And like any other password protected site online, you'll use that to access your free Google account. Again, this free Google account does not come with Gmail, but you can add it if you want because it's free. And you'll go to look at the app keypad. So since it doesn't have Gmail, when you log in, this is what it looks like. You'll go to the app keypad. And once again, you're looking for sites. If you wanted to bring in Gmail, you could. But since I don't use sites often, then you're looking for more from Google. You can click on here. And remember, this comes up, we toggle all the way to the bottom here, and we are looking for sites. All right, so as we click on sites, what you're going to see here, I'm going to make it bigger, is you will see a template gallery. So as I open this up, you will see a template of site designs that are already set up that you can customize any way you want. So let's say example, let's say I want to create one for a small business, and I use the dog walker theme. When I click on it, what it's doing is it brings it into my actual Google account. So it takes it out of the template gallery, puts it into my Google account, and now I can streamline it and customize it any way I want. Remember, this is 100% free. 100% free, so you don't have to worry about any paying, any hosting of that, which I like to do, especially if somebody's vetting an idea or they're just starting out. And I know how difficult it is and how expensive it is to start a business. You may be working still on proof of concept, getting an idea of what you want your site to actually do, what's the goal of your site. So you want to publish a site still because you know people are looking for you and you want to be visible and show up on search, but you don't want to put a full-blown amount of money and time and effort in there yet till you have a good chance to lay out and understand what customers are looking for. So not to worry, you can use this. You can choose themes. So you can go in here and see that there are different themes, simple, diplomat level. You can also go here and customize and change this image. You can upload an image, you can reset, you can use the header type and decide on a different header type here. You'll see you have all of these different areas that you can customize. You can different colorize it. You can copy it and create more if you want. You can bring in images, and you can do the same here too. And understand that you can go here and decide how many pages you want to have. You want to insert a page, different content blocks here, table of contents, an image carousel, social links. You want to put all of your social URLs here. You have all of this available to you too. Okay. Plus you can link YouTube, I mean, there's just so many things that you can do if you want to. Let's say you've got actual video on YouTube and you want to bring that in to show it on your site, but you don't want to have to worry about paying about hosting, and you still want the great juice that YouTube provides you in visibility. So you can do both and bring all of this together. Okay, so all of this is available to you. You can go up here to settings and change the settings that you want. If you have different brand images, if you have a color, if you have a favicon. What a favicon is this right here. See where the Google, where you see browse all Google products, you see the G. It's very tiny up here in that left hand corner of that tab. That's what a favicon is. It's the little icon here, and it really is a subtle way to help brand, but also brings that brand consistency and that trust that we talked about. So there's so much that you can do in here with Google Sites. So let me go here back into the presentation. When you're looking at that, you can go to Google Sites, you can start a new site and select the template. Remember what I said about the template gallery? When you click on it, it brings it in for you, and now you can customize it. You can add, delete, and organize. You can put new text, you can add videos and files, really make it your site, really richly showing your brand and what makes you unique. When you're ready to, when you've done all of the tweaking that you want to, here this is not published yet, you might want to publish it to the web, so you can. You might even want to other people to have access to it so they could put a good 360 video up there, or maybe upload some photos, or maybe just manage it because you're busy also being butcher, baker, and candlestick maker in your business. So you could do this. You can also set up the search settings and then click publish. So you can decide on collaborators, or if you're ready to go, publish. Once you publish, keep in mind what the purpose is of your site, because a great website needs to have a goal. If you're just hoping to throw that up there because competitors have a website, or you just know it's the thing to do, we need to be online, so you're throwing it up there and you're hoping to get something from it. While hope is wonderful to have, it is truly a poor strategy. It's important for us to know, what is that goal that we have for our site? Is it to brand us as a business, an expert, e-commerce for shopping? Is it for sales? Is it to gather leads, try to get some volunteers? Or is it to brand ourselves as the employer of choice and the business culture that somebody wants to be able to work for? Is it organized for that though? Is it well organized? So when somebody goes to your site, it makes sense to them, not to us, because we know all the inner workings, but to them. I always encourage you to let somebody else look at your website, let somebody else go through that, because you'll see things that and realize there are things there that you didn't see because you're so used to it, so close to it. Is it useful? Is it functional? Does it give them what they need and what is a part of their decision process? So the path that they're on, are you helping them? It's important for us to be experts in our customers, because when we're experts in our customers and can articulate their needs and really anticipate those, then they see us as experts who can solve those issues for them. All right. So is it very intuitive and search friendly? Is it really helping them along? So one of the things that you can do is visit sites.google.com. That's another way to get to Google Sites. You visit the site and then try this exercise to really apply what you just learned today. And I encourage you to do that. If you decided to get a copy of today's slides and recording by commenting in the question box, then you'll be able to do this and slow me down and actually go through the process and see it work for yourself. Now, any other questions before you talk about setting up email for your business? All right, because we do a lot of connecting still by email, even though we use text a lot too. Email is still there. In fact, don't let anybody let you believe that email marketing is dead. It is not. That's not a myth. That's a myth. That there are all of us. In fact, on average, a small business owner will check emails anywhere from 32 to 46 times a day. So email's not dead. It's just that your subject line and the information has to be valuable. So context and content is very important to the person receiving the information, because there's a lot of spam out there and a lot of stress. So thinking about email for your business, you can have email forwarding set up. So let's say you were stacia347@gmail.com. You can have email forwarding set up so you can get lots of extra emails, which I like this a lot. So, remember what I said, I've got mariacoaches.com. So if I wanted to set up help at mariacoaches.com, coaching at mariacoaches.com. It could be social at mariacoaches.com. I could set up all of those emails, which still gives a really nice brand of Maria Coaches. Understand also with Google domains, there's no cost email forwarding, and you can create up to 100 different aliases, which I like too, because a lot of people just have hello at their business or their business URL.com or service to be able to assist people when they do come to your site, and they now don't necessarily need to speak to the owner. But also do know that with Google domains, when you're here on that left side and you're setting up your email, you can set up like even sales. So for example, Stacia has sales at statiasbakery.net, but it really goes to stacia@example.com. So this is her URL that's not branded, but it's where she receives all of her mail. So when people email sales at statiasbakery.net, it goes to her. Now, the reason why you want to look at paid Google Workspace, remember what I said about, I'm talking about 100% for free and or small fee. So this is the small fee. You might want to have Google Workspace because when you forward this, okay, let's say you forward sales at statiasbakery.net and it's actually going to stacia@example.com. When Stacia replies to this, this is the URL, this is the email, I'm sorry, not URL. This is the email that is showing up right here, stacia@example or stacia@gmail.com. Not this one. In order to get this branded like this, you do have to have a Google Workspace account or within your domain register, set this up, okay? So I just like Google Workspace because it works seamlessly with Google domains, and guess I'm all about the Google products, of course, as a Google team member. So as we look at this, then now she can respond as sales@statiasbakery.net. So I will do that as well. I set that all up. If you go to g.co/workspace, see that URL there at the bottom left-hand corner where I'm hovering the pointer right now, you can use this and look and see what works for you. If this is something that is, there's a cost to it, a monthly cost, but it's your decision whether or not you want this. You don't have to have this. You can still operate everything that I've been showing you without having this in place. It's just if you're ready to take that next level step in branding, I think it's important because in order for people to have know, like, and trust with you, they do need to know that you're solid, who you are, and that you're actually in business, and they believe that you're a professional at your business. Nobody wants to do business with somebody who is kind of good at what they do. We all want the best, right? So for example, to see this in action, let's say that you're sharing information here within a Google Doc. So when you share information in a Google Doc, you can plus somebody in. So when you say plus and you put that email address, they'll actually get an email notification that this is happening, and then they will be taken when they click on that email notification right there to the document, right to the area that you're needing their input or maybe an edit from, maybe you need information and stats. So you can plus that in real easily, and it's all representing your brand. You can also see here within calendar, it reps your brand very well. So what happens if you don't have a professional email account, then what will rep in your calendar you'll see stacia@gmail.com or stacia123@gmail.com instead of Allie at statiasbakery.net or Kimberly at statiasbakery.net. Does that make sense to everybody? Any questions about that? I've covered quite a bit, and I do want to make sure that you get a recap of everything, but you also have an opportunity for questions because I'm all about you applying what you learn. Knowledge is not powerful until it is applied. So how can you apply what you've learned today about your domain name? You can find out by testing it out, looking at keywords, using Google Trends to get there. Remember these two sites, Google Trends to get there. Or you can have a free Google account, free Gmail or free Google account by going to this second URL. So you've got those two in front of you if you want to screenshot that. And then you can also register your domain name with Google Domains if you'd like to do that. You can build a website using Google Sites. I mean, it is so great. I've seen people put together simple sites where they've even tested out landing pages. You know, landing pages normally run hosting anywhere is $450 to $750 for a landing page. And here you have unlimited Google Sites that you can use to do that. Some people use it internally. Some people use it as their press page. So maybe this is where they take people when they're wanting to share news and they're linking to their newsletter to see updates that are a little bit longer. It could be that you use it for your blog site too, if that's what you decide to do, or you can use it for your main site and just bring in additional pages to be the blog. Okay, so you can make those additional pages here. And you can see you can embed into that page if you want to, like you've got a form or a link, or if you're creating a new page, you know, what does that new page look like? So you can do that too. So it could be Maria's dog walking team. And then I just click done. And now I've got a new page here, Maria's dog walking team that's here, right? So I can figure out how I want to design that. And I can now see I have two pages here. If I want to, I can duplicate this page or I can add a sub page to it. Maybe I want people to go to my home page, but then I want them to delve in deeper and see contact info. So you can see how that's a sub page of the home page. All right. And what that looks like, you can preview it to kind of see here that, see that drop down? So now I can go to contact info here, but so that's the sub page of the home page, or here that's a brand new page, Maria's dog walking team. So I can always preview it and see what it looks like on a desktop or laptop or a mobile. Look at that. So maybe I want to calm down how much text I want to use right here in this square block or rectangle block, because I am making sure it's mobile friendly and I see how much space this is taking already. So I'm going to change that. You know, it looks great on, let's say, desktop, but on a mobile, maybe too big. Makes people scroll too much, and I know too much scrolling gets people to leave your site. Also, you might want to look at the professional email address. Again, doing that good professional branding that puts forth your personal brand or your business brand. And you might want to connect it with Workspace. You can see the URL right here. So if you want to take a snapshot of that before you get a copy of today's slides tomorrow, you're welcome to do that too. Okay? All right, everybody, we've covered quite a bit. Remember that as you build a website, one of the first things you want to do is connect it to Google Search Console. You may have heard me say this in other training events, that Google is not the World Wide Web like people believe. It is the biggest library of the World Wide Web, and we as business owners are responsible for entering our book, our website, into the web. We're not just throwing it up there hoping Googlebot can find us. Googlebot's amazing, but sometimes it can take up to 90 days to find us. And who has 90 days to wait for cash flow? We truly need to be the ones responsible for doing this, and we can use this for free. This is the door to the library, g.co/search console. It actually pushes your website onto Google. You control what Google sees. You have that information. I always can tell when people are not using this, because I'll hear things like, I don't know why Google shows that. I don't know why that's not showing up. You have total control, but you have to proactively do that by entering things into Google's library, the biggest library that people do search. Also analytics. So Google Search Console, the library, lets Google sees you and lets you know what Google sees. So it'll tell you if it sees it's missing a page. It'll also tell you if your site's not mobile friendly. It'll also tell you if something is taking a long time to load or your site's not secure. So any of the things that can penalize you in Google search. What will also happen, those Google Analytics, if you use this free tool, it lets you know how people navigate your site. What do they look at? Are they spending a lot more time on the video? Do they go to the second page and really read your blog post and your FAQ? Or do they go to the first page, your home page, and then they go to the third page and they're lost, they can't find anything, they click on nothing and they leave? It truly lets you know how people shop, and it's important for us to be experts. That's our job, to be the experts in our customers. You can also learn more here at YouTube. So if you go to this URL at the bottom left-hand corner, if you want to take a snap of that, that is Google's YouTube channel. We're always launching new information there to help you go and help you grow. If you want to learn more yourself, you can. These are career certificates. If you go to this URL, you can find out how to apply for a free scholarship. As long as you're a business with an EIN number, you can have up to 500 team members actually get the scholarship for free. So you don't even have to pay to earn these certificates, and they are recognized by thousands of businesses and universities. And of course, our amazing Google partners here, SCORE Austin, right? And Texas Tech, boy, the Texas Tech, Northwest Texas Center, you've got all of this available to you and other training available to you too. So do know that if you decide to go with the domains, remember, I love free or small fees. So here's what I really love. If you want to take a snapshot of this, if you decide to use Google domains, you get 20% off, right? So 20% off, $12. I know it may not seem like much a year, but hey, anywhere we can save is where we can also help in growing our business and expand and actually put that money to other use and growth in our business, right? So utilize this. You can use it up till December 31st. If you want to snap a photo of that or a screenshot of that, welcome to do it. And then, of course, remember what I said, your Google partners, SCORE Austin and Texas Tech Northwest Texas Business Resource Center, Bill and Brandy are here for you. If you have any questions after this, on anything that you're navigating with how to do your Google sites, how to set up your email, or even how to choose that domain name that makes sense. All right. So what questions do you have? This is where you can find me if you want to find me for more training that I do, some of the other free webinars, but get with your Google partner. because they can bring me out for anything that you need. And I'm happy to do that. All right. Because I love being able to work with small businesses and have celebratory virtual dances across social whenever you apply what you learned. All right. So let's go to Q&A. And as I promised,